So without further ado, Iris, the stage is yours.
Yes, I'm very happy to be standing here in front of you because I felt like I wasn't spreading my experience fast enough by one-on-one conversations. So I really wanted to stand in front of a group and share my experience because it was a life-changing experience for me and it really gave me future perspective. So as was introduced, I'm doing a full-time board position at Isaac. I'm not going to talk about the organization too much because I think board position in general with any organization, particular full-time positions, can be really relevant for students to figure out what they want and what they're capable of. So what I first want to do is give you guys a bit more context about myself. I've always been a girl that wants to be in the safe zone. Never raised my hand first, never wanted to walk in front of the line, never wanted to be a leader, rather a follower. Because I thought I was just not good enough to do these things. And never went out of Europe until I was 21. I was one of those girls that went on camper van vacations with their parents to France. So yeah. And I never really was stimulated to do things that actually scared me. So I made a decision and I went traveling to South America, which was a really big step for me. Realized how big the world was besides France. And that's when I started to realize that I should open myself up more for experiences and things that you might not be really comfortable with. And then, as if someone in the Netherlands heard this thought, I was actually sort of Facebook scrolled by someone from my old board, Diederik. He seriously did a Facebook scroll, ended up with me, and I thought I was going to be suitable for the next, the board position they were looking for. And I'm actually really glad that he did this because I really didn't know him that much. He didn't know me that well. I knew him from a project at school. And he told me about what he was doing. He was doing also a board position at Isaac. And he was just trying to figure out what I wanted to do because he knew I was one of those girls that was almost finished with their studies, just traveled and had sort of a half year with no plan. And he really made me think about wanting to do a board position. And you have these crazy, crazy bus rides in Argentina, 30 hours or something. And I went from, this is not going to be my thing, and it's not good time, I'm going to be back, and I have to start immediately, no time for acclimatizing. So to the point I was like, why not take this opportunity? You're just really scared of it. That's what actually is stopping you to develop yourself and to really step out of your comfort zone. So I decided to do a full-time board position at an organization I know nothing about. My part-time team already started 2 months earlier, and I had to coordinate them. Well, super good plan, I thought. But so I want to tell you all a few things, what this board position meant to me and what it brought to me. And first of all, it's a really unique and relevant experience for students at this age. Because I am coordinating not only my team but also 30 other part-time members. So I have a lot of responsibility, and I don't think anyone at this age can get a job that will be as much responsibility as I have right now. If you're doing an internship, you'll probably have an executing role rather than a coordinating role. And, or even if you graduate, you will probably start with a starter function, which doesn't give you a lot of responsibility immediately. But the feeling of responsibility will really make you grow and really see your potential and what you're capable of, what you like to do. I think students of university don't get a lot of practical work experience, which is really relevant to figure out really what you want and what you can do. So I think it's really a unique experience that every student should take to make better decisions regarding your future. Second of all, it was a sort of a good environment which enabled me to do things that I'm really shit scared of. For example, you have to really set an example to your part-time team. Maybe they're afraid to call company. They might be afraid doing a lecture talk, or maybe they stand in front of a group that they know. And of course, I'm also scared to do all these things, but for some reason you have to get over it, because you have to motivate and inspire your team to do these things. So of course, I'm really scared to stand in front of a lecture, which I've never done. Of course, I'm scared calling a company. I've never did this before. But because you have to set an example as a full-time board member, you really step out of your comfort zone. You can do so much more than you initially thought, and which makes your learning curve and your learning experience that much higher, because you just have to do it. And another thing that I wanted to address was that it gave me actually future perspective. I came to Maastricht studying European studies, really broad education, really good education if you don't know what you want. Actually learned a lot. I learned that I don't like anything about European studies. But actually it's okay, because if you do a bachelor, it's really a time to explore and to figure out what you want. But yeah, I was pretty much in no man's land when I went to South America. No idea what I wanted to do after my travels. Do an internship, do a master's, really like the regular safe path. With like no idea I could also turn left, turn right, turn diagonal. I don't know the word for it, but yeah. So doing an internship, doing a work position, I've been doing it for 9 months now, and it really gave me a lot of practical work experience. For example, I've learned that I really like to work with people. I really like to guide them, coach them, coordinate them, communicate with them, and really maximize their potential. I never knew this when I was studying European studies. So this was also something that we really did a lot, was really self-reflection. As a student, you never really think about it, because it's not really cool to think about yourself. You really never take the time to do it. But I did this a lot, and I figured out that actually I also really like health. I really like to read all the new blogs, to read all the new insights on what is healthy, what is not. I really do this without effort. So I thought, how can I combine these things? How can I combine health and working with people and maximizing their potential? And well, it gave me a framework, and then I started looking for studies. Actually came across a study which is called Work, Health and Career. And I went to the master over there, because it's actually a master's here in Maastricht at the Faculty of Health, and I don't even know, FHML, I don't even know how to pronounce it. Never went there, never thought I would go there. And I thought this is what I wanted to do, and it's really about working with people and really making sure, because business is run because the people are behind it, and they have to have a safe and nice, comfortable environment. You have to take into account their personal lives, their other issues. And this study is called Work, Health and Career. Really learns you how to maximize people's potential to really make them really assets to a company. So this was perfect. So I could have never known this if I didn't do a full-time board position, and learned how nice it was to work with people and to motivate them and to get them to step out of their comfort zone. Because when I develop others, I actually also develop myself. And it's really, I don't know if anyone ever did a board position. I hope I've inspired you. You did a board position full-time as well, or?
Part-time.
Yeah, again, also part-time is really also a great learning experience, but even full-time, you step behind your limits. And I thought, if anyone told me last year, you're going to do a public speaking thing, I would have just laughed at you. I would have not taken you seriously. I would have actually been really scared. But I would have hid behind excuses. And actually, I really like I like to talk. I think you can hear that by my voice. Yeah, what I just wanted to spread that the message I wanted to spread today was really do a full-time board position, because you really get to know yourself, and you really get to know what your interests are, but also what you can do, what you're capable of. You can do so much more than you thought before, and I think it's a really relevant and unique opportunity to make better decisions later on in your life, and to really be sure about insecurities that you have right now. So, thank you all for your attention.